There, Mike, in action there. Now, any idea what it's like to plunge out of a plane at 12,000 feet, free-falling at speeds of more than 100 miles an hour until finally you pull open your parachute and hope for a smooth landing?
If not, well, at only 16, you might want to meet this girl. It's Clare Reynolds. She's just jumped into the record books as Britain's youngest qualified female skydiver. Clare was inspired by Dad Steve, who is an instructor, which is probably just as well, really, isn't it, that you're an instructor? Clare, just tell us a little bit about what you've achieved, because you're not allowed to be a fully qualified diver until 16. Those are the rules?
Yeah, so I did my course out in France the week before my birthday, and I got in 21 jumps, well, 20 pulling my own parachute and 1 tandem, and then on my 16th birthday last Sunday, I qualified.
And what is, I mean, I don't know, some girls of your age would be wanting to do, I don't know what, but skydiving I wouldn't think was one of the ones at the top of the list. How come you want to do this?
Well, basically my dad got me into it. Well, when I was younger, I used to go on lots of skydiving holidays, and then when I was 13, I did my first tandem, so that's when someone strapped you, and I just loved it from there, and then my dad was just like, would you like to do a course when you're a bit older? I was like, yeah.
Stevie, was it in your mind that you wanted to get Clare into the record books? Because you obviously love doing this sort of thing, and you thought, great, you know, if I encourage Clare, she could be the youngest.
It was a goal for a challenge. So, but because of her age, I put her in the Air Kicks wind tunnel in Milton Keynes, and she had nearly 4.5, 5 hours of wind tunnel training with one of the second of the world wind tunnel champions, Adam Matacola. So she had the best training possible before she never got to go and jump out of an aeroplane.
Clare, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, Charlie says, you know, lots of 16-year-old girls would rather be doing something different. I think a lot of us would wonder about why you want to do it. Clearly people do, but I'd just be terrified. When the door opens and you look down, what goes through your mind? What went through your mind the first time?
Oh, the first time, well, I was up in the plane and I was basically in tears. I was so scared, but I said to the instructors on the ground, please don't tell me if I want to go or not, just kind of take me out the plane. Got to the door, went out, and as soon as I was out, I was so like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It actually is.
Steve, what's it like as a dad? Because I suppose you look at two ways. On the one hand, you think, I trust myself more than anyone else with my daughter's life, because that's what you're talking about here. On the other hand, you're there. I mean, you must have been... Were you terrified for her? Were you nervous for yourself?
I tried to keep it all inside. I was on the ground just watching for that parachute to open, and was always there on the ground while she was skydiving. I filmed her tandem that she did on before the course, and I was in the plane with her on her first jump, but the rest of the time I was on the ground.
But it's, I mean, the risks of this business that you're doing are very real.
There's a risk in everything you do, but with skydiving, the equipment now is so technologically improved that they are minimised, but there is still a risk there. At the end of the day, she has to open the parachute and she has to land it.
Clare, you weren't put off by the risks? You enjoyed the thrill?
Yeah, I enjoy it so much. The risks, well, it's there in everything, so it's just one of the things you have to do.
Well, congratulations to you, and lovely to meet you. You're a much braver woman than me.
Thank you both very much.
Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Time now is 9:47 exactly.